Go in, find the president, bring him out in 24 hours, and you're a free man.
24 hours, huh?
If you're enjoying these new intros, please drop a like and a comment down below. And please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it!
So this week marks the 40-year anniversary of Escape from New York, the cult classic from the legendary John Carpenter. I'm going to have a little John Carpenter appreciation moment for a minute, so bear with me. Is there a director with a more distinctive and unique style than this man? I mean, he writes, he directs, he even scores his own films. The man does it all. John Carpenter's films are comfort movies for me, meaning that when I can't decide what to watch, I'll typically throw in one of his movies. Because I always know that it's going to be unique, it's going to be entertaining, and I'm not going to get bored in the middle of it.
That makes sense.
If Tarantino was my #1 favorite director, then John Carpenter would have to be 1B. He takes concepts that might not work if they were directed by someone else, and he flips them and makes them iconic. I can't say enough about the influence that this man has had on me and my life, but I do have to actually get to the review, so let's get into that now. Halloween, The Thing, They Live, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China.
It's all in the reflexes.
As for Escape from New York, the movie I'm here to talk about today, I have to talk about this cast first and foremost. Not only do we have legends like Harry Dean Stanton and Lee Van Cleef and even Donald Pleasance, we also have, of course, the coolest actor that's ever stepped in front of a camera in one of his most iconic roles. And yes, I'm talking about Kurt Russel in the role of Snake Plissken.
Call me Snake.
I really love Kurt Russell and John Carpenter's working relationship. I always thought that their styles meshed so well, and I honestly wish they did more movies together. Kurt brings this Clint Eastwood vibe to the Snake character that honestly makes him stand out even more than he already did. What's cool about Snake, though, is that the script makes him a bigger deal through dialogue and interactions with other characters, and you have to remember that this is the first time we had ever seen him at this point. He kind of has this legend around him where people instantly recognize him. There's also this running joke about how everyone thought he was dead. This is how you make your main character feel impressive and important. Plus, Snake's own dialogue gives us insight to who he is as a person as well. Like, he's fractured a few laws, sure, but he's clearly still the best person for the job and not really worthy of being called a criminal in the same way that everyone else in New York is. He's an anti-hero. He's reluctant to get involved. He really doesn't give two shits about the president or the impending war that might be coming.
I don't give a fuck about your war. Or your president.
But he does what he has to do to save his own neck. The villain of this story is the Duke of New York, played by Isaac Hayes. I do like the bold casting choice, but I have always wished that they gave the Duke a little bit more to do in this movie. He's kind of one note. I would have preferred a more strong villain to come up against Snake.
I can't hear you.
You are the Duke of New York. You're a #1.
I have to say, I really enjoy the world that Carpenter created for this movie. Right as the movie starts, we get one of those classic sci-fi movie prologues that honestly they just don't do enough of anymore in movies. They are effective because they do a good job of setting the stage and catching the audience up, and that way you don't have to deliver lazy exposition in the movie later through dialogue. This is a country that's on the verge of war, and it had to abandon one of its major cities simply because it was overridden with crime. So what else would you do in that situation? Put a wall around it and turn it into a prison, of course.
I guess I go in one way or the other.
I think this was a nice bit of commentary from Carpenter here. We know that he's very untrusting of government through some of his other movies, but the dire states shown in this movie are clearly an exaggerated reflection of the country in 1981. Just gonna say it, this might be the most atmospheric action movie ever created. It's just visually impressive to see a blacked out, abandoned New York City, and it's shot in a very dark and gritty way, and the music goes a long way to enhancing that atmosphere as well. They show you some random occurrences throughout the city that basically really show you the twisted society that these criminals have created behind these walls.
Just a sick world we're living in. Sick people.
Like the strange theater performances, or Duke's Thunderdome battle ring. Or how about the scene where the crazies are coming out of the sewers? This scene is honestly ripped right out of a horror movie, and even the music matches it. And we never really hear about the crazies after this moment. But now we know that they're there. We know the dangers that lurk around every corner in abandoned New York City. I love the moments where Snake is just wandering around the city. It's very post-apocalyptic and honestly makes the shooting locations feel a lot bigger than they probably actually were. There's also many instances where we see what is supposed to be futuristic technology, but it actually looks very dated now. But it doesn't really hurt the movie, it actually adds to the charm of the movie, and I appreciated that. The plot of this movie is very simple. You get into the city, get the president, and get out in 24 hours. That is before the capsules in your neck explode. I appreciate simplistic storytelling when it's done in a creative way.
I like it a lot.
Even after the president is rescued and they've escaped New York and the Duke is dead, Carpenter gives us a little bit more, with the president being somewhat dismissive when Snake is making inquiries about the people who died to help save him. The president is clearly more concerned with playing the tape and avoiding possible war, which I understand. But in Snake's eyes, the president looks unappreciated, and he feels justified in switching the tape, even if it probably set off World War III after the events of this movie. That's Snake Plissken, though. He's an anti-hero, and if you cross him, he will retaliate, even if it's to the detriment of the entire country.
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Escape from New York is a visually interesting and atmospheric film that sets itself apart from other action movies, especially ones that were released around this time. It's also got the most charismatic and cool actor of all time in the lead role. It's got a straightforward plot that hints at social commentary without shoving it down your throat. John Carpenter created an absolute classic with Escape from New York, and that's why I'm going to give it the elusive Bill and Ted.
Excellent!
We did get you out, but a lot of people died in the process. I just want to know how you feel about it.
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
So have you seen Escape from New York? I'm sure you have. If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Nah.